All right, so today we're going to be doing number dos, the second video in my 10 video series of my 10 favorite pedals. And then I'm going to give you some more backstory about this video series. This is important to me because I thought it'd be fun to do, not only share my favorite pedals with you, but also share this journey that I went on, which is about 4 years ago. I had amassed a pedal collection well over 300 pedals. A lot of you guys have seen the videos 4 years ago. You saw them. They were in rows behind me. I've done a ton of videos about that. And it took me about 10 years to get a collection that big. I found myself not using tons of them. And, I've always been a proponent, if I'm not using it, it's not going to stay around. So what I did is I spent the last 4 years thinning down the collection. I'm going to show you my 10 favorite, because these are the ones, I want to call these my daily drivers. I use these every day. Now, I did a review of this pedal 7 years ago. It's one of my first videos. It's one of the first few videos I did. I absolutely love this pedal for 2 reasons. This is not just a tremolo pedal. So it has 3 controls. It has depth and speed, which is obviously for the tremolo. And then you have a mode switch that lets you switch between amplitude and harmonic. Amplitude is going to be more like a traditional tremolo that you're used to hearing. Harmonic is going to have like a phasery kind of tremolo sound. Now, the important part is it has a gain control, and the gain control actually has a transformer in the pedal that gives you a preamp sound. And it does the same thing a Supro amp does. When you crank a Supro amp to about halfway point of the volume, you notice that it starts breaking up. It doesn't get louder, it just starts breaking up. And this pedal allows you to achieve that at a much lower volume, and that's huge if you're a bedroom player, but it also is great in the studio or on gigs where you're not cranking those amps, which can get pretty loud. So let's start with a couple things. First, let's talk about what we're running everything through. I'm running a Kiesel Delos with 2 humbuckers and a coil split on the neck, if I want that, into a Fender Princeton 68 reissue that I have converted to a head, and I'm running that into a Friedman 112 cabinet with a creamback, mic'd up with an SM57 into an 88M Neves 88M interface. So that's what you're getting. Okay, so let's start with some clean, so you can hear that. Very clean, a little bit of reverb from the amp. Let's start with the first tremolo tone. Now, here's where it's interesting. If you see this switch right here, this is up position. You get this, what I call the traditional Fender tremolo sound, which I'm going to turn on right now. Now, if you put the switch in the down position, you get the harmonic tremolo, which has got a very like phasery kind of sound. You'll hear right now. Sounds kind of like a phaser. That's the way I like to think of it. But the other thing that's cool on this is that you have a gain control, and I have it off right now, but you're still getting a little bit of gain. And that makes it great because one of the problems I have with a lot of tremolo pedals is that, or tremolos on amps, is that when you turn on the tremolo, I feel like the notes get a little lost because they're not really kind of popping out. And having a gain on the pedal really kind of pushes through a mix. It really becomes apparent and noteworthy when you're playing with another musician. You hit your tremolo, and sometimes I love tremolo so much, but sometimes I turn it on and it's like all of a sudden, whoosh, like all my cutting through the mix goes away and I'm in the background. And so you find yourself, when you notice a lot of musicians, guitar players, when playing tremolo pedals, they're usually by themselves. One guitar player, you're hearing the one guitar tone, which is with the tremolo on, maybe a bass and then the drums. But if you have 2 guitar players, like I said, it gets lost. With this, it helps kind of kick it out a little bit. So let me start first with a gain at basically 0. Now, I want to show you that last lick when I run the gain right there. Hear the bite now? And it sounds great with that tremolo. and that's why I like it, a little bit of a bite to it. So let's go ahead, I'm gonna turn it back down. Let's go to the more of the phaser sound. Now I'm not a big, this isn't the part of the pedal I use, but obviously I have to demonstrate it because otherwise, you know, you guys would be curious about it. Let's run a little bit more gain on that and watch what happens. Same lick. Yeah, it's really, really nice in bites. Here's another cool thing about the pedal. You can turn the tremolo off and you can run just the gain. It's really not a tone I really go after, but it is a lot of fun right now. I kind of like the gain just poked up a little bit. These are about my settings right here. And you know, you can go faster. Let's take it to crazy town. I like it just more of a... Now, it would be important for me to mention two things. One, it doesn't take a 9-volt battery, so you do need a power supply for it. The other thing that's important to mention is that it does have an expression pedal ability, so you can plug an expression pedal in it. Unfortunately, one, I don't have one, and two, I wouldn't use it anyways. It's not what I'm after. I'm not, although I think that's a really cool feature, definitely a cool feature for tremolo, you know, kind of speed it up or slow it down with your foot. And control it more. I just don't use it, so I didn't feel the need to buy that. The other thing that's also nice to mention is this is a soft switch. So this switch doesn't make a click, as you can hear. And the light is very bright, but not so bright that it's like kind of burning out your retinas, but bright enough to where you'd see it even in a well-lit room. Now let's go to single coil mode, where I think this really kind of shines. Run that gain a little harder. I mean, that's a massive difference between the coil split and the humbucker. And I feel like this pedal handles both well. Let's go back to the humbucker. Definitely cool. So there you go. That's pedal number 2 of my 10 favorite pedals, and that I basically use every single day. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. It's kind of just something more of a fun thing. I want to do something fun for 2024. This is one of the fun things I'm doing for myself. Sharing some of the stuff I truly love, not necessarily just stuff that gets sent to the channel, you know, for you guys to see and check out, but just sharing a little bit of, you know, what I've been using for the last few years and why I still have it, or why I've gravitated towards it recently. So there you go. On that note, I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. Until the next time, know your gear.